Captain's log, stardate 542724. In a few days since our battle with the Archon forces, luckily persevered and came out victorious. While several ships have stayed remain there to clean up, possibly look for missing personnel, all the ships that were lost. The Monarch has taken out several injured personnel and is on its course set to Earth, where we will disembark several of the injured crew members, as well as make for Utopia Planitia, where we'll be receiving some ship upgrades, along with repairs. However, it's most regrettable that my first officer, Commander DeGrosse, and Counselor Dae, are both currently in a medical-induced coma, in which they received injuries during our battle. Only time will tell if they'll be able to recover from such an event.
All right, so as promised, if I could find the thing. All right, we're going to have to do this in stages. All right, so this is going to be mostly a role-playing wind down after the Archon event scene, and I figure it will take place primarily in here. So I have all your character tokens out, Bob's in there. So you have
So are we in the bar already, or are we standing outside of it? Just like wherever we want to, kind of?
I just put the tokens out there just to put them on the screen, but you guys can set them up however you want to.
Roger.
You could be in there, you can enter later.
Bob, I will take a glass of the best scotch the ship has. Neat.
Top shelf stuff coming up. And they'll pull a nice looking bottle from underneath the bar and pour it into a glass. And slide it over to you.
Casey will take a sip and kind of stare off to the side.
Oh, you got that out, Bob. Pour me a couple fingers.
And he'll pull out another glass from behind the bar. Do like a kind of little flip with the bottle and then pour it into your glass. Here you go, Doc.
Kind of nod my head and raise the glass a little bit to him, take a sip. You all right, Casey?
Well, I've been better. He takes another bigger drink. You know, it's been a while since I've been that close to dying.
You weren't close to dying. Sullivan and I were there.
Yeah, fair point. But things did get a bit dicey there for a while.
Well, true enough. But you did your job and you did it well and kept off the drones until Aurora could do what she needed to do. And we all got out of there alive, so counting that as a win, I say, as I kind of tip my glass a little bit towards him before taking a sip.
Definitely a victory for sure, but not something I care to repeat.
Oh, amen to that.
I've been in quite a few battles, but I've never had so much responsibility on my own shoulders. The entire Federation in a sense, relied on the success of our mission.
Mm. Well, you're young yet. Unfortunately, you may have to get used to that kind of thing.
I guess so. Is the lounge sort of like still disheveled from the battle, or is like the interior of the ship pretty okay?
The ship was pretty heavily damaged cosmetically, but of course the lounge is going to be top priority for the engineers. So the lounge actually looks pretty good. You can tell there's patchwork repairs, but
The priority on this ship.
Well, shall we join the captain and Nadon?
I guess. Hey Bob, can you give me that bottle?
Maybe we can get filled in on what happened while we were gone.
they'll slide it over to you. Go easy on this stuff. This stuff will knock you on your ass.
My middle name is Easy.
Captain? Nadon?
Hello?
Doctor.
Care for a drink, Captain?
With my glass of wine for right now, Lieutenant.
And Blackwell will
Turned it. That drink.
Thank you, Captain.
Blackwell will kind of critically examine Prax's head and goes, "Well, looks like that bump's just about to go away. You were lucky there, Captain."
Luck is surviving a shell explode in your face.
Fair enough, but make your chief medical officer's life easier and stay away from falling beams.
You know what? We should probably talk to the engineering corps. I'd love to have those support columns over command chair.
Seems like a design flaw, you ask me.
It does.
So I hear the Monarch went toe-to-toe with a legend.
You did. Would say taking a hit from its main weaponry, even though it was a reduced power, was not a pleasant sight.
How long do you think it will take for us to get fully operational? Or were they able to repair the damage already?
Structurally, the ship is sound for the moment, at least I'm being told in engineering. But we'll know more when we get back to Earth.
Is there any word on the condition of the counselor and Commander DeGrasse?
Well, their injuries, while serious, were not severe. I've just got them in medically induced comas to help the healing process, but they'll be fine and up and about and back to their normal routine in just a couple of days, actually.
Is Commander Marora also doing okay? Is he in the same situation?
Marora will be fine. I managed to stabilize him on the moon. He too just needs some rest and the chance to let his body's own healing abilities take hold. So they should all be back on duty around the same time.
Are folks from the other ships as lucky? Do you know? I heard a rumor that some folks were getting transferred to specialty medical centers on Earth.
Yeah, when I carried Commander Pend out of the base, and he didn't seem to be doing very well when I did.
Well, Penn's injuries were of an entire different nature. He was hit with a disruptor blast at full charge. Those things are incredibly nasty. For the most part, the Archon didn't seem to be interested in just vaporizing us, but Penn took a full power shot, so I think he'll be fine, but he may need some extra time, but no worries. He's headed to Starfleet Medical, and they're really the best in the business.
He's a brave one.
I have a feeling he'll pull through. Dr. Efrix, medical officer on the Kismet. Fine doctor.
I haven't had the chance to meet her yet. I think.
Crossover episode time.
Out of character, I was trying to remember if Efrix was in the medical team on the first big fleet arc.
He wasn't.
Okay. So yeah, I haven't met Dr. Efrix yet. I hear good things. But
I met her on, the way to Kronos.
Kronos? What took you out that way?
Well, I had to secure and negotiate for the Klingon vessels during their first engagement. The Orion fleet and Archon.
Oh, that's right. Well, still in all, I think every ship involved is going to be seeing some empty seats at mess, unfortunately. And there's some holes in the fleet now. I got to raise a glass and go, to absent friends.
Here, here. Do we know how many were lost on the Monarch?
Yeah.
How big's the crew complement?
750, yeah.
I would probably say maybe 150 casualties, maybe 20 or so deaths.
When will the funeral service be, Captain?
When you arrive at Earth,
I see. I'll make sure to clear my schedule.
just say good job down there. Get everyone the fleet. Good.
Well, we were just doing our duty, Captain.
Still, it was no small feat accomplished down there.
Well, Commander Pind was an excellent CO for the operation. It was a good team.
I agree with that. The personnel selected performed extremely well.
Yeah, I only wet my pants once.
Which part was that? When your shield went down?
No,
And
probably what I
my
had to realize
case-
I had to give my shield to Aurora, or whatever her name was.
Oh, right, you gave your shield away. Whose shields went down? Sullivan's, I think. Another person lost their shield.
Or I did.
Right, and then he he had a rough go.
Right. Speaking of, is Aurora still on the ship? This is out of character, sorry.
I would imagine that all the crews were transported back to their primary ship.
Well, she was the AI.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what we want to do with her.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She definitely proved herself loyal. At the same time, we know that this program has the odds of going very dangerous. So, on the other hand, it is sentient.
I was under the understanding that it would be, she would be transferred to the Kismet, but I could be wrong.
Better there than here.
Well,
She's been assigned to some guest quarters here.
she seemed to be quite fascinated with finding herself in a humanoid body, bioroid though it may be. It'll be interesting to see if she decides to stay that or return to a more electronic existence, I suppose.
The choice will be up to her, Doctor. I mean, Starfleet Command has other things in mind.
Well, I, for one, hope that Starfleet has learned a lesson about ticking off incredibly powerful artificial intelligences, and we'll let her go where she wants to go. Do we know yet if we got the Archon, or if we're just going to have to repeat this in a year?
I hope this is the last we see of the Archon.
I have to say, vaporizing the Archon's form, android form, was quite satisfying.
So the base was completely destroyed, assuming that everything inside of it was vaporized process.
Well, we can hope at least. So, any idea where we're headed after Earth?
Be up to Starfleet Command where to send us next.
First star on the left, and right on till sunset. Sunrise, whatever they say.
Straight on until morning, Lieutenant.
Yeah, straight on till morning. Yeah. I had the gist of it.
Oh my God, who's flying the ship?
The Birdman.
Oh, we're okay.
We're in good hands.
Yeah.
If all these people are in sick bay, is Casey the acting executive officer?
Probably.
Uh-oh. We'll be fine. Birdman at the helm. Casey in the exo seat. Good thing it's only one session.
confident Birdman.
I haven't seen the Birdman character sheet. What's their name? Oh, I see.
Kenome.
Kenome.
Yeah.
I see. Starfleet bird.
Yep. Well, once Marora is back up and running, I'm going to put my heads together with him and you, Nadon. I have this idea for an emergency decompression bubble for situations in which there's no time to get someone into an environmental suit or the containment fields are in danger of failing. I think we should be able to develop it. It may take a little time. And I can't for the life of me understand why Starfleet hasn't come up with something before. I tell you, sometimes we're just too reliant on our technology.
I, for one, would go for some seatbelts.
You never know when those inertial dampeners are gonna go offline.
Or the
I'm
view
just glad the
screeners.
gravity hasn't gone offline yet. Can you imagine what a mess that would make? All the people getting space sick? Motion sick?
Believe me, I know what you mean. Every time I step on the transporter pad, I have flashes of Night just inputting 1 percentage point just slightly wrong enough, or something happening just right to beam me inside of a rock or something.
Just waiting for Night to come over.
Yeah.
Transporter accident is one of the most disturbing words any Starfleet engineer can, or most disturbing phrases any Starfleet engineer can hear, I think.
I'll give Night credit, though. She managed to snag our asses off of the moon and back home safe, despite the base exploding and sensor-resistant materials all around us. I owe her dinner, I think. But still, give me a shuttle ride any day.
And enough shuttle accidents to not be taking shuttle rides every now and then.
Apparently back in, Huh? Oh. I wonder what the actual statistics on the odds of transporter safety versus shuttle safety are.
I mean, just about every time they get in a shuttle, it crashes.
I'm sure that must be an anomaly.
Well, Doctor, I'll give you a shuttle ride anytime. Always
That
looking
sounds
to
like a plan.
always looking to practice my pilot skills.
Didn't you just say that every time you get into the shuttle, it crashes?
Well, Casey's never been in a shuttle accident, but in
Oh.
the show. I'm just trying to think of like shuttlecraft-based episodes where they didn't end up crashing. The last time Casey was in a shuttle, I like rammed it into the space station, but just a little navigation error. My skills were atrophied, unfortunately. I don't get enough chance to practice.
I think I'd rather stick with the Orgel or Canal Nay, if it's all the same to you.
I'll try to pretend I wasn't badly offended by that.
The Hadfield's problem was never crashing shuttles. It was always taking a shuttle someplace, then getting in the middle of things that required an emergency beam out and never getting the shuttles back.
Well, I guess that's one way to do things.
I think Captain Jacoby was going to have apoplexy if he had to justify to the yards the need for one more shuttle.
The last small craft I was on, I had to scuttle it for a covert mission.
My last shuttle ride seems rather uneventful by comparison.
Consider yourself very fortunate. Now I'm just waiting for Ed to cram us all into a shuttle next episode. We've said the word too many times. Now we're all going to crash.
The last time you guys were in a shuttle, you survived. You did the
that's
whole trench run.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was I wasn't there for that. I missed the shuttle operation.
Yeah, that was Canal.
I think I'm the PC with the highest con score, which is not much. I only have 3.
So, Nadan, I haven't had much opportunity to spend any time with you. How'd you get to the Monarch?
I'm not sure in what context you're asking the question. You mean from the special project or originally?
Well, why'd you join Starfleet? What led you down the path of the sciences? How'd you get to the Monarch?
Well, I had been an initiate. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Trill culture.
Somewhat.
Do you know what the initiate program is?
I had the opportunity to study with the caretakers on Trill of the symbiont pools.
Huh.
So I'm not particularly familiar with the various rigors of the initiate program, I'm pretty up on my trill and symbiont biology.
You're considerably more familiar than most I know in Starfleet. Other Trill accepted, of course. So I had been in that for a time, and it became obvious to me that joining for me was not a thing that would come to be. So I decided that my desire to discover new things and have new experiences could be best met elsewhere. And I was suggested by one of my mentors to consider trying for Starfleet. So that was how I applied and was eventually accepted. And the rest, as they say, is history. I think that's the proverb, anyway.
That's the one.
So.
How about you, Casey?
How did I come to be on the Monarch?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite a story. I grew up on a colony, and well, I never did very well in school, which surprises most people, as I did end up in Starfleet. It took me third try on the exam before I passed and was accepted, and I barely got through my 4 years there. After graduating, I ended up on a Excelsior class, the Resolute, on a 3-year mission. And afterward, they deemed that I was not suitable for starship service. It was until later on, at the start of the Klingon War, heightening tensions there, that I was accepted back to serve on starships. Later on through the war, Resolute was destroyed. I was one of the only survivors. When I got back to Earth, I was posted to a Saber-class starship as Chief of Security until I received this opportunity. My previous captain encouraged me to take it.
Well, after what happened to the moon, I'm certainly glad he did.
It's always a pleasure to defend my fellow officers. It's what I joined to do.
So that's 3 of us, and I kind of take in Cassie and the captain, who served on Excelsiors.
They are fine vessels.
Yeah, I'll be sad to see the old girls rotated out of service.
I understand that most of them will be out of service within the next 10 years. But who knows how long beyond that they'll stay in service, bureaucracy and such.
Well, and until we make up our losses from the Dominion War and encounters like we just lived through.
Yeah, that is true. It was unfortunate to have such a big loss to the fleet this recent after the war.
Well, if we had managed to stop the Archon, the losses would have been greater by several orders of magnitude.
Captain, when we arrive at Earth, what exactly will we be doing while this Monarch here is being refitted?
I believe some shore leave is worthwhile for the entire crew during that period.
I was hoping you would say that.
Anywhere in particular on Earth you want to go?
Myself?
Yeah.
I was thinking Alberta. I sent a message to my sister, and I'm hoping she'll meet me there. Of course, Captain, if you'd consider putting in a good word with the commanding officer of the White Horse, she might be able to get some extra leave. Circumstances permitting, of course.
What's the climate like in Alberta?
Oh, quite cold, I assume. But the colony I grew up on was not the warmest either. I can only spend only so much time on a ship. They're too enclosed.
Isn't there some sort of human activity where you hurtle down mountains with boards strapped to your feet?
Not something I've ever partaken in, but yes, you are correct.
Skiing. It's bought many doctors their second home. Historically, of course.
Sounds like it could be interesting and also quite dangerous.
It is.
Out of character, how long have we been in space at this point? Like since we first pushed off?
Story-wise, 3 days.
I mean,
I
like
think-
from like the start of the game in May, like our first episode.
Let me find the start date. Hold on. Prax, what was today's start date?
5427.2.4.
About 136 days.
Okay, cool.
Last time I was on Earth on the Hadfield, Chief Kiji and I toured New Orleans in North America, ate at Cisco's, and then I showed him around Beale Street for an evening. I think this time I haven't been to Italy in quite some time. Maybe Florence. Somewhere in Tuscany. With a view.
I'm told the Campi Flegrei formation in Italy is fascinating.
Sounds
Yeah.
most pleasant, Doctor.
Well, I grew up on a agricultural colony, which has its own bucolic scenery on Belodi 4, but don't get out that way much anymore. And Earth 4, no matter how far flung we go, to me it always seems in some odd way coming home. I don't know if it's some sort of evolutionary recognition or what, but I always look forward to my time there. And of course, with Starfleet Academy and then right into Starfleet Medical, I've managed to spend some time on Earth. But I'd like to explore more of Trill, given the chance. My time there with the Guardians was too brief, and honestly, most of it spent underground. But what I did see impressed me. It's a beautiful planet.
It is. I remember it fondly. I actually haven't been back since I joined Starfleet. Well, not on the planet side anyway. I've been in the system, but
What about you, Captain? Where would you like to go on your leave on Earth?
Probably going to visit an old friend.
Fair enough. Just so long as you make sure to get a little break yourself.
Go to doctor. Just a brief stop in San Francisco for an evening and then afternoon. I'll probably find someplace quiet, relax.
Good. I think we all need a break after what we've been through the last little bit. And it'll be nice to have several million metric tons of planet under my feet for a day or two.
I only hope that our friends in sickbay are recovered in time to enjoy it.
Oh, I think they will be. As I said, while serious, their injuries were not critical.
That is a relief, though, Doctor.
What kind of upgrades is the ship getting?
I'm not sure yet. Our fleet command hasn't told me.
Rax doesn't know what he's going to do with that arc.
More like the spotlight.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna switch out command ship.
Fair enough.
I think after my brief stop in San Francisco, I might head to Paris for
Mm.
a while since I've been there.
Paris is lovely.
do you intend to visit museums or tour around, or is it more of a social call?
Probably tour around a bit, a little exploring. really hard to say. Hard to say how long we'll be on shore leave. Though knowing my luck, I will be probably stuck in briefing meetings the entire time.
Not me. Starfleet Medical will have to catch me first.
I'll be completely in the dark, out in the woods somewhere, so there's no way Starfleet security will get a hold of me.
Famous last words, Mr. Casey. Casey.
Well, maybe I'll sneak a transporter inhibitor with me.
Well, if you excuse me, I think I'm gonna see the holodeck.
Of course, Captain. Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy.
I think I'll have another drink. And Casey pours himself another glass. Nadan, care for a glass?
I'll give it a try. Why not?
And he pours a glass. This is, I assume, some pretty good scotch. Maybe like Royal Lochnagar. That's the good stuff. If you've ever had that.
The doctor finishes his drink and goes, "Well, I suppose I'd better be making a last round through sick bay."
Of course, Doctor.
Not that they need my help necessarily, but always good to know what's going on. Have a good night.
Good night. Well, I guess Casey just lounges back in his chair and continues to drink in solid.
Is this your typical drink of choice?
Of course, nothing but the finest. I have a stash of stuff in my room, but well, I was saving it for a special occasion, and I guess this was as good of an occasion as any. Maybe I'll bring it with me to Earth.
Makes sense. We didn't doom the galaxy to death by genocidal AI as good a special occasion as any, I suppose.
I've never been in such a situation before.
Me neither. I hope to never be in that sort of situation again. It was certainly nerve-wracking for a while there.
Casey will take a big drink of, or like sort of like finish off his glass in one gulp, and stands up. Well, I think I need to head back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
That
I'll
was
head off as well.
that hour of fighting robots still has me tired.
I can understand that. I won't say I'm sorry I missed it, because I'm not, but I do feel bad that the folks who went through that had to.
Well, if you're interested in the details, I'm sure I will be interviewed for hours upon hours for a 250-page tactical report from Starfleet Security. Be welcome to read it.
Thank you for the invitation.
I'll see you on the bridge.
See you later.
And Casey will also head out.
Lay down, we'll finish the drink and then head out.
Okay. Is that a sign? Yay for the episode.
I haven't got any more ideas, I don't think.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm out of conversation starters.
Same.
That was a good hour, though.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll call
Yeah.
that the end of. What did we call this again?
The Royal
Royal
Mast.
Mast.
Because apparently